welcome back to my channel. My name is Hannah if you're new here, and I am wearing the same shirt as I am in the last video, mind your business. I was feeling kind of restless. It's super hazy outside due to the wildfires in Canada, and all of that smoke is coming down into Minnesota, and so I've been cooped up in my house for 4 days. I was sick one day, I was working from home another day, and then I've kind of been stuck inside due to the haze. So I decided I needed to get out of the house, and what better way to have an excuse to spend money on books, essentially. Haven't been to the bookstore in a hot minute, but I decided to not only do a little bit of a book haul in this video, but also I'm going to read the book that I buy. So that'll be fun. Stay tuned for the reading vlog portion of this video. So let's go through what I bought. First things first, the swag. I got this cute little library card bookmark. It was 49 cents. It's so cute. And it just looks like a punch card from a library where you'd write, you know, your name and the due date and all that. Love that. I also found a copy of Dune for the price I was willing to pay for it. And this is a 25th anniversary edition, but it's still in a mass market paperback, so I am happy to add this to my collection for $5.49. That was fun. This is about how much I enjoyed Dune. I did like it, but for $5 worth, you know what I mean? I don't need a collector's edition. A book that I read last year and really loved is Dating Dr. Dill by Nisha Sharma. This is a Taming of the Shrew retelling with Indian American main characters. I really loved this, and so I was happy to find a copy for $7.99. I really enjoyed this one. Great angst and tension, good like I hate you but I want to make out with you energy. Also picked up the newest Vera Wong's Guide to Snooping on a Dead Man by Jesse Cusatanto. I've gone on and on and on about how much I love Vera, and this is the sequel that just came out in 2025, and I read it from the library, bawled my eyes out, had to have a physical copy for $16.15. The most expensive book I bought today is I found an illustrated edition of Little Women by Louisa May Alcott, and this is a gigantic hardcover. It's like beautifully cloth bound. It's this beautiful purple color with these lilacs on the front and these butterflies. It's so pretty. So I thought I'd actually open it with you. It's in plastic so we can see what the illustrations look like. Sorry, I'm done. Sorry I was down there. I was getting a scissors because I really don't want to damage the book. So I'm very carefully clipping the corner. Success. Let's open this guy and see what of course I rip off a tiny bit of plastic. This is hard to do on camera. Ugh. Okay, well we're in. So if I don't do it the most elegantly, you won't shame me, right? It says 10 beautifully designed bonus extras transport readers back to the actual time period of the novel and bring history to life. A self-published newspaper, an envelope with special letter enclosed, a map, a recipe for candied lemons, and much more. So that's what this little like card says. It's from Andrews McMeel Publishing. And this is the book. This is a light gold foiling illustrated by Marjolaine Bastin? Marjorie, it's in cursive. I have a hard time reading that. The end paper's neon green. I actually really like that. And here's this. I could write my name in it if I so choose. Oh, is this color illustrated? Oh! So this was printed in 2021. So this is actually a pretty recent, like, collector's edition. Okay, the illustrator's name is definitely Marjolaine Baston. I got it right. It's printed right here. So there's that. I don't know, let's flip through it a little bit. So we've got contents, index, Louise and May Alcott biography. That's cool. Stop. Oh my gosh. Oh, it's so beautiful. This is so pretty. I think I looked at this edition and I think it's $50 regular price. Wow, that is such a beautiful color combo. I'm sorry I'm not showing you super well, but like I'm kind of entranced. Oh, and look, it's got little illustrations throughout, and I think it is in color. Wow. This is beautiful. Does it have full page illustrations? Okay, so here's one of the extras. Here's like a little illustration. I think it's just little illustrations. I don't see. Let me just see if I can find like a full page. Ah, look at how pretty that is. This is so beautiful. A ribbon. Here's a ribbon. Ribbon bookmark. It's the same green as the end papers. Oh, love that. Oh, look at how cute. That is. So there aren't, it doesn't look like full page illustrations, but it's got cute designs in like the corners of the pages and in the, at the ends of chapters and the beginnings of chapters. It's got like those letterheads, which are really pretty. I like the size of this book actually, because it kind of holds open. Oh wow, these are really pretty. Just a lot of like floral designs, a lot of, you know, nature scenes, animals. I dig it. I dig the vibe. It's very spring. It's a very like spring coated book. Here's the letter. Joe March, New York. This is the letter that she writes to her family, I believe, which is cool. Cool. I'm so grateful that I found this. This is very beautiful. Oh, look, strawberries. Okay, last one. Okay, we've got little strawberries right there. And then we've got there, more strawberries at the bottom. This is so beautiful. I need to find a way to display this somehow. I really loved Little Women. I have a video talking about my thoughts and feelings on this, and I was just gonna buy like a Barnes & Noble edition or something, but this is insane. This is so insanely beautiful. How much is this, like regular price? Does it not say? I don't think this book says, but I bet I got it for a steal. I can't stop looking at it. Okay, Little Women, Louise May Alcott. Wow. The one book today that I bought that I have not read yet is the one that we're going to read in this video as well. Very different from the last book. Behooved by M. Stevenson. This sounds kooky, wacky, just unhinged. And I'm here for it. I'm gonna read you the synopsis that got me hooked. Bianca knows her duty comes before her heart. When the threat of war looms, she agrees to marry the neighboring kingdom's heir, but not all royal weddings are a fairy tale. And Prince Eric, spelled with an A, Bianca's betrothed, is called aloof and seems to hate her on sight. To make matters worse, on their wedding night, an assassination attempt goes awry, leaving Eric magically transformed into a horse. Bianca does what any bride in this situation would do. She mounts her husband and rides away to safety. There is more to the synopsis, but like that, that got me. And I had to buy it. I said, yes, you're coming home with me. I need to buy you. It seems like a cute, funny, quirky fantasy romance, and I think we're gonna read it in this video. Look, it even has pink sprayed edges, which is fun. And I spent $16.99 because it's like a new release, so it's a little bit more expensive, but this seems ridiculous. And I love like arranged marriage or like a marriage of convenience trope in romance in general. So like I'm hoping that this will work out. It sounds like the silliest, goofiest time. What I do in my haul videos is I also put the books away. So I will show you where these books end up in my shelves, minus this one because I'm gonna read with it. But I will take off the little stickers and we will go around the library together. Okay, first things first, we're gonna put away Dune, which goes up here with my other mass market paperbacks, and these are organized by publication year, roughly. So it's gonna go somewhere by Lord of the Rings. I think it goes, let me just check, Edith Hamilton mythology. I've read this many times. 42. So this was actually, Frank Herbert was 65. This is 42. I think Lord of the Rings is actually before this, but I'm keeping series together, if that makes sense. And The Hobbit came out in like earlier than that. When did The Hitchhiker's Guide come out? 79. Okay, so it goes between Hitchhikers. Oh, hard to do this one-handed and still show you what I'm doing. Okay, we need a little bit of space. Do I have any space? Ooh, just a little bit. That plant has to move. Okay. Don't mind the smoke detector. I promise my husband and I are safe. It's gonna go right here. Oh my gosh, this is way harder. Bam. There we go. There we go. Oh, I like how that looks. Very nice. Vera is pretty easy too. I actually, the Vera Wong first book in the series actually goes right here. So I just need to make a little space and put it here. So it'll be book 1 and book 2. And my mom is reading it. I thought she might like Vera Wong as well. So this is my mystery, thriller, horror, dark academia shelf, I guess. So that's where that one goes. As for Little Women, I keep my classics way down at the bottom here. I don't have a ton, and I would love to have this facing outward because it's so pretty. But I don't think I have, unless I move my poetry collection. Oh, well, she wants to be out, I guess. So I might move my poetry collection to somewhere else and put this facing out. This is more sci-fi. But for now, I think there's room to just stick it right here. So let's fix this and put it right there. Oof, she's thick and juicy. Ooh, she's tall too. Let me fix, okay. So that's where it is for now, kind of at the bottom. Next to The Tenant of Wildfell Hall, Frankenstein, Scarlet Letter, you know, some lit classics that I enjoy. And then Hamnet is not a classic, but I don't have anywhere else to put it. And Dating Dr. Deal goes up here on that gigantic stack of books. And I don't have my step stool. So for now, we're just gonna, we're gonna stick her like that. You don't see this anyway, but it's gonna go there until I find my step stool. All right, books are put away, mostly. So me and my new bookmark and my new book, Behooved, are gonna go read for a little bit. Also, if you're curious, I spent about $75, that's including tax, on these books, which is a little more pricey, but I did buy a really nice edition. Really nice edition of Little Women. So like I did splurge. That one was $22, which is a little bit more, but I think I still got some good deals overall. So I'll let you know what I think of my initial thoughts on Behooved. It's gonna be fun. We're gonna have fun with this one.
Snack time. Need fuel for reading.
Hi. We're doing our first reading update because I have to take a break from reading because my hands are going numb. So when my hands go numb, I have to take a break. So I have read 64 pages of Behooved. So let's talk about what this is about and my initial thoughts. We are following the point of view of Bianca, who is the daughter of a noble family, and in their country they have 9 ruling noble families instead of like a monarchy, and they have a rival kingdom right next to each other that is a monarchy, and the queen of that kingdom recently passed away under mysterious circumstances, and the new king is threatening war. And so as a peace offering, Bianca's parents sign a contract betrothing Bianca to the king of that rival kingdom. Bianca's a really fun character so far. She is really duty bound, and unfortunately her parents have never really shown her any love or affection and have just taught her to do her duty and not show emotion and to quash all weakness. And they find her a disappointment because she has a chronic health condition. And I read the author's note, and the author herself has celiacs, and so I believe the main character is supposed to have celiacs, even though I don't think that term is going to be used in this fantasy world, but she has symptoms of celiacs. Now, I don't have celiacs, but I am gluten intolerant, and when I do have gluten, my tummy does hurt me in the way that it hurts this main character. So while it's not the same as celiacs, and it's a whole other can of worms, I relate to an extent to this main character and her chronic condition, and I just want to tell her to stay away from bread, and that's what's making her sick, but she doesn't know because she's in a fantasy world. So I'm already really drawn to this main character. She is also like, she gets to the new kingdom, to the new country, and the new king like snubs her, and she's getting all feisty about it, and she's like, I'm gonna clap back. And so we love that. She's not like so sassy that it doesn't make sense, but she does have some teeth and some grit to her. She's not just a dutiful daughter who doesn't think for herself. She's got some gumption, and I'm liking that. Eric, our love interest slash the king, is very aloof and mean, but I think he's just kind of closed off and uncomfortable in social situations because he's like reading the entirety of her welcome ball, so like, can relate, buddy, but of course we don't get his perspective. So from Bianca's point of view, this man hates her guts. So off to a rough start. Obviously I'm only 64 pages in, so I haven't gotten to the point where the assassination attempt has happened, but it is the day of their wedding at the point in which I stopped. I'm enjoying this. I'm having a good time. I'm engaged. I'm trying to read closely, so I'm taking lots of notes in my app. So yeah, I'm stopping for now, not because I want to, but because I probably should, and get the feeling back in my fingers. Because chronically ill besties. Also, I did want to say Bianca is bisexual, and there is a lesbian side character. So it's it's a very queer normative world too, which is awesome. So we like all the building blocks here. So I'm keen to see what the author does for the rest of the story, and I'll check in a little later. We're doing a quick check-in. I have read to the halfway mark and slightly beyond it in Behooved, and I'm liking this, but we're at the halfway mark, over halfway mark, and I'm a little worried with the pacing here. It feels like we have a lot going on plot-wise with the fantasy plotline, the conspiracy theory, like what's going on politically to get them in this situation, breaking the curse, all of that is kind of going on, and I think the characters have had very, very brief scenes of, you know, opening up to each other, but other than that, not much romance development has happened between these two characters. And because we're only getting Bianca's perspective, I think it's even more challenging to convince me of a romance when we only get one perspective. It can be done. I think it's hard to do, especially in fantasy romance, because you're already dealing with a fantasy plotline, and then you're trying to do a really good romance on top of it. So we'll see how the execution of the second half pans out. I am enjoying it. I'm having a fun time. I'm a little nervous to finish, however. Also, I kind of wanted to show off my fit because I feel cute. I just really wanted to show you that my pants are orange. And we're puppy sitting. So, fun orange pants. And a puppy. Yeah. He's a good boy. Hello. We are ending the vlog. It has been a couple days, but I finally finished Behooved. And unfortunately, this is like a 3.5 star read for me. I just think the balance between the fantasy plot and the romance plot wasn't quite balanced for me. As a fantasy adventure, this was like a 4-star, a lot of fun, you know, kind of cozy in that way. There's stakes, but you kind of know everything's going to be okay. So definitely like a 4-star fantasy, but as for the romance, I just feel like this couple didn't build enough for the I love you to feel earned and like it made sense. They had a lot of misunderstanding to overcome in the beginning of the book, and then they went from, oh, we misunderstood each other to I love you seemingly very quickly for my personal taste in romance. So it's really hard to appease me when it comes to fantasy romance, so you might like this because I'm just picky. I'm notorious for liking fantasy and for liking romance, but when they're combined, it often doesn't work for me because I'm picky, so take what I say with a grain of salt. The disability representation in here was excellent. There's a couple of queer side characters in here, so a lot of good stuff packed in here. I just think for 320 pages, this book could have benefited from slowing down and taking a little bit more time to develop the romance, in my opinion. But again, take what I say with a grain of salt. But that is the end of the vlog. Thank you so much for hanging out with me and coming to the bookstore with me and to doing a book haul. I had so much fun, and even though the book wasn't 100% for me, I still enjoyed my time reading it enough. So thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in another video of mine very soon. Bye.